in the 19th century and every century before, the ordinary ways of producing and spreading culture were the sorts of things that ordinary people did. It's not that everybody could play the piano, but it wasn't anything weird about being able to play the piano or play the violin. And indeed, it was part of what it meant to become part of culture, to learn to produce in exactly that way. The distinctive forms of cultural production were, in this sense, democratic. But for the 20th century, some of the most important forms of cultural production were not, in this sense, democratic. It wasn't the case that in the 1930s it was normal for people to make films. It wasn't the case that it was normal to record a record and to spread it, or to create a radio station and to broadcast it. These were things that some people did, but normal people didn't do this stuff. And we had a culture that developed that was very different from the culture of the 19th and centuries before, where it separated between what normal people did and what a certain cultural elite, I don't mean that in a negative sense, just in a descriptive sense, an elite did. And that contributed to exactly what Sousa was fearing, this sense that there were some who were entitled to create and to spread their creativity, and the rest of us who were entitled simply to consume. Well, when you see the story like that, the most distinctive and one of the most exciting things about the internet is that it's restoring the read-write culture that Sousa celebrated. Because once again, all the forms of cultural production that are around us are democratic, the sort of thing that anybody can do. If you have a 16-year-old kid who doesn't know how to make a movie, there's something wrong with your child, right? We have come to a place where it is completely ordinary to imagine that we will express ourselves in all sorts of different ways. I mean, we grew up making mixed tapes. Our kids grow up remixing the music they listen to. The whole way in which they interact with others is about creating and sharing their creativity. They're expected to do this.